Welcome to Kevin Richards VIPs. Have you ever wondered how hard it is to put together events like Holly Fest or Misbehaving right here in Barrie? Well, this week's guest is the amazing man behind the scenes. This week's guest is Shakir Barmare. Here we are at the Golden Griddle at the Kozlov Mall with my friend Shakir. Shakir, welcome to Kevin Richards VIPs. Thank you for being my guest today. Why are we in the Golden Griddle? What is the significance of this place? Of all places in town, why the Golden Griddle?
Because I've been here for 5 years, and out of my 10 years in Canada, the 50% was spent here, working here as a server and as assistant manager. And this place actually made me where I am today. So that's why Golden Griddle.
When you say it made you, we're not talking eggs and bacon. We're talking it made you. It created you. I'm sure we're going to dig into your history a little bit. Yes. We're going to unpack that a bit. Right. But let's go straight to the Golden Griddle. So the reason we're here, you got hired here. They helped you do what? They helped you get through school. They helped you do all kinds of things. What's the most significant thing they did for you?
So working here, it was good tips, and I was taking business at Georgian College, and the fees for international students are 3 times what a Canadian resident pays.
And why is that?
It's because that's a really good question, Kevin, because I'm not sure why is that. Maybe Canadian education wants to make more money out of people coming from abroad. So I paid $36,000 in my tuition in 2008, 9, and 10. In those 3 years, so it was $12,000 a year, paying like a mortgage. And while I was going to school, I was working here 40 hours a week just to make those tips to pay my monthly tuition.
And so they helped you, though, right? They gave you some direction on getting through school and doing other things. They allowed you to work, a particular schedule so that you could make it to school? And
that is correct. So they were very flexible according to my classes when I was going to Georgian College. And if I had an evening class, I was working here morning. And if I had morning school, I was working dinner here.
Sure. And I don't think people realize quite how much the owners here are actually actively involved in the community. They're great people, they're significant contributors, but they're very much the quiet type. They don't go looking for it. They're not on the front page of the local papers.
Abbas Chaudhry, he's the owner and the manager here, amazing person. He gave me that opportunity when I came to Canada. He looked at me and he thought, you know what, maybe this guy will do something or maybe not. And he believed in me, and that's how first couple months I was terrible. I didn't know what Canadian food is, what bacon or sausage or, what over easy or over medium eggs are. And I learned that in a couple months, and then I was fine.
Yeah. So part of the significance of us also being here, they were good to you. So you got your first job here, but you moved here from India.
That's correct.
All right. So I'm going to ask you this then. Why Barrie? Why, of all the places, you've got this incredible culturally diverse place. It's an incredible melting pot. It's an incredible city.
Yeah.
Incredible country. Why Barrie? And no diss to Barrie, because I love Barrie. I can't seem to leave it.
This question has been asked by so many people. Like, if you're leaving Mumbai, India, why are you coming to Barrie,
and you're from
Canada?
Mumbai.
Yes, Barrie is like a Tokyo or a New York or a Toronto, and ended up in Barrie. Why? So when I applied for education from Mumbai, there were different colleges which offered me education: Seneca, Sheridan, and Georgian College, and George Brown.
Well, you nailed it with Georgian College.
Yes, so I chose Georgian College because that offered me the right program which I was looking for.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up in Barrie.
So what was your direction then here? Did you have any family here, or did you come here just by yourself?
No, I had no one. Someone came.
Move.
Yeah, someone came to pick me up at the airport. He was a student too from Georgian College, and then he took me to a place where I was actually renting. It was a Spanish family, and that's how I started my life in Barrie.
What's your native language then?
My native language is Hindi.
Okay,
yes.
So you move in with a Spanish family. Did they speak Spanish and you spoke Hindi, or was
it? Yes, we spoke English, actually, broken English. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun, learning English from somebody Spanish. So that's fun. So you get here. When did you get here? Did you get here in the summer, I hope?
No, it was fall. It was September 2017.
Okay, so you hadn't experienced Canadian winters yet?
Absolutely, right away. So fall and winter, and I think we have passed 10 winters now.
Yeah, good times.
I know.
So back to Mumbai. What was it like growing up for you in Mumbai? How long were you there? I don't know how old you are right now, but let's just go back to how long you grew up in India.
I was in Mumbai for 25 years.
Okay.
I was born and brought up there. Crazy life, very busy, very fast. You get what you want. Corruption, bribery, politics, everything is involved. You can drive with 3 or 4 different fake licenses. You can bribe cops on the spot and get over the tickets, the traffic tickets or speeding tickets. So many things happening in Mumbai. You just name it, everything is possible.
It's amazing because when you see the stereotypes and you see, Slumdog Millionaire and you see other movies like that, and I love that movie. I'm a big fan
Very
of that
crazy
movie.
movie,
Incredible movie. And so you see movies like that, you go, well, that can't be what it's like all the time.
It is actually true.
But you speak to somebody who's from India.
Yes.
And it kind of nails it, and it's
Absolutely.
kind of unfortunate because you're either extremely rich, or you're kind of down in the lower end. There isn't really a middle, is there?
That is the truth of India. Either you're extremely rich or you're very poor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up there. What are some of your favorite memories of growing up in India, though, other than maybe learning to pocket pick somebody? I'm just kidding. What was it like for you?
I was in India. I grew up like a normal street boy, and I used to catch trains running. So if you're missing a train, you have to catch it no matter what. There were no doors on the train, and I don't think they still have it. So catching the train or catching the bus, running because you don't want to miss that bus.
Yeah.
So many memories.
So what's it like then if you think about India? Is it as stereotypical though, where people kind of giggle about the people piled up on a truck full of fruit and markets and stuff like that too? Do you have that? Did you grow up in that sort of environment?
I used to go to do groceries, but it was a different story. You have to carry your bags. You have to choose what you want. It's nothing like Metro or Sobeys or Azairs, what we have in Canada. It's a completely different story.
But I think it's pretty awesome.
It is awesome.
I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, while we were growing up, there was nothing fake. Everything was organic.
Yeah.
So we actually grew up having organic vegetables and organic food,
And a bigger cross section too.
Absolutely.
Here we get pretty excited when we go into a store and we find 2 or 3 different types of cinnamon, and then there's like 50.
I know.
It's crazy.
That's
the markets
true.
with the seasonings and spices. I see those on TV, and I love those on the cooking shows. So, when we talk about India a little bit too, and I do want to dig deep into this a little bit, is religion.
Right.
All right. So when you look online and you try to get to know a bit about India, you've got your Buddhism, you've got your Hinduism.
Lots of religion, yes.
Well, it's a melting pot of religion as well too. So what's your background then, if you don't mind?
I'm Muslim, and I'm from Mumbai. So I grew up Muslim. I was born in a Muslim family, very religious, praying 5 times a day, that kind of family.
Okay.
Yes.
So you did that a lot there. What's it like for you here now? And I'm not going to ask you about the whole acceptance thing and stuff like that, because I want to know how you feel, if it's culturally different for you to do it here in a mosque, if a mosque is a mosque.
That's correct. Very good question, Kevin. It has changed over the years. So when I came to Canada, first couple of years, I was very strict. I was doing the same thing, really praying to God and praying 5 times a day. There's something called fasting a month for 30 days from sunrise to sunset. You do it. And after that, you celebrate your festival, which is called as Ramadan Eid, which is like
Ramadan.
Yes, which is like a Christmas to Christians, and that over the period of 10 years, that has changed in myself, like the way I think towards the religion. Like now, I believe it's all man-made. It's
the religion.
It's everything. Like
absolutely.
Every religion is man-made. It wasn't there before when the earth was formed, but it eventually was created by man, like Christianity or
it's
Hinduism.
all based on faith.
Absolutely.
It's all about faith.
All I believe, there's only one God, and you just have to be praying to God for whatever you can, and just be kind to people around you, and just do good deeds,
Well, there's sort of a joke that, well, who was the biggest religion, who won? Well, what day is it? Right? And so people say, oh, the Christians obviously won because that's the calendar.
Yes.
But then if you ask any Muslim, they're going to go, well, wait a minute. Our calendar is a little different than your calendar.
Absolutely.
But they're sort of the 2 calendars.
Yes.
Right?
So being a Muslim and being within the community of Christianity and Hindu, so while I'm in Barrie, I actually deal with so many people. I go to mosque every Friday, and there are so many Muslims. So I pray that I host events in Barrie which are catered to Hindu.
Absolutely. And Bali? Any sort of
Diwali and Holi, yes.
Yep.
And
I've been to the Holi, and I love that.
Absolutely,
It's a
absolutely.
Festival of Colors, fantastic.
So that's like cultural festivals, and plus I do charity and community events within Barrie. So I come across Caucasian friends. So I'm actually balancing 3 different communities and getting to know more, like why are we so controversial about religion?
Well, I think religion, the fear that people have, is based on the wars. It's based on the stress of what's next, who do I trust, and building walls. And more people like you are needed to say, hey, look at, what do you need all these walls for? It's less than 0.01% of the world are the extremists, right? So, come on.
I believe there are only 2 things. There are 2 people, I would say, which are ruining the world. One is the politicians, and the other is media. Okay, politicians pay media to do this, and media just showcase what they want to show it to the world.
Yeah. Well, the war on terrorism is a slogan. It's not an actual war.
Right.
Right. And so if you look back into history and you look at, you know, when the U.S. went through Kuwait and then kept going in Afghanistan funding ISIS and all these sort of crazy things, we learn about that through social media or through the news, and we seem to think that we're accurate.
Right.
But you, having grown up in an area where there's war, there's things going on in surrounding countries, you know, there's a certain label and a prejudice and a stereotype that are all very much not true or fair to you.
No, that's true.
So when you came to Barrie, did you find that it was accepting, or do you think that there was, and you could be honest, because there might have been some glitches and some pressure.
Luckily or fortunately, there were no glitches, Kevin. I didn't feel any of my Caucasian friends were against my skin color or against my religion. I don't know what's the scene in GTA or anywhere in Canada, but in Barrie, Touchwood, I've never experienced anything against my religion or my race, you know?
Well, that's good. I think that's a good sign on Barrie. And
Yes.
I got to tell you that I love the events that you do, because other than the food's fantastic, because I do really love good food from
That's actually my passion, to bring people together, entertain them, give them a good time. That's my passion.
Well, I brought my children to Holi.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, other than my kids swimming around in powders all over the floor of different colors and stuff, it was great to see a community that came together from an event that you had organized, that actually, it wasn't just a bunch of people from India or from Pakistan or from wherever else.
From everywhere.
It was a big melting pot, and you know, people that you may not even agree with sometimes, and there was politicians there, of course, for the photo ops.
Yes.
But I do believe that it helps them have a bit of an understanding of embracing
what the culture
religion
is.
and culture.
Absolutely.
Because we need more of that, because I don't think enough politicians are embracing the culture. I really wish they would.
Absolutely.
And being of that culture, that helps you have you understand politics on a different sort of out of the box mind, right?
Exactly.
So what are you doing now? What is your sort of event? You know, give me a couple of minutes of just what you're doing now. What's next for Shakir?
So Shakir is gonna do what he's doing right now. He loves doing it. Definitely the community, charity, and cultural events. So I do 2 charity events, which brings business professionals together. They're there to network and raise awareness and funds for the charity organizations. And I do 2 events which are focused towards cultural festivity. So people come together to celebrate these events.
Yep. So when you're not doing these events, what are you doing for you? Because there's got to be some, and I know that there's, and I don't want to sound like all silly, but there's got to be something you do that puts you in a happy place, other than coming to Golden Griddle for coffee and eggs. There's got to be a place. Where's your happy place in Barrie? If you could choose a place, what's your happy place?
Okay, so if there is another happy place, I would say it's the mosque where I go to pray every Friday, because I am a big believer. I'm a big believer in faith, and I pray to God.
It's always God.
So, God. Once you believe in God, you can believe in yourself, and things will be fine.
Yeah.
Because things are fine and things are going fine. It's just that we human beings make it complicated.
Well, I think sometimes people need to realize that faith can be as simple as saying, all right, I'm just letting God take over. Whoever my God may be.
Yes.
Let him drive.
Yes, and let me share.
that.
Right. Let me share this. I don't only go to mosque. I also go to church every Sunday.
Do you?
Yes, so I balance it between between Islam and Christianity.
Well, you know what, that faith.
So it's nothing to do with I'm a hardcore Muslim and I'm not gonna believe in any other religion. I do go through all this criticism, like why Shakir is hosting Hindu events. You know, being a Muslim, he shouldn't be hosting Hindu events. But criticism is part of life.
Yep. Well, you know what? I read books on Christianity, and I also read books from the Dalai Lama, but it doesn't mean that I'm sitting there questioning my faith in God.
Yes.
Right? Because you've got to understand that the world should be more peaceful, too.
Correct.
And you're big about that.
Absolutely.
Right? So, you don't have any kids. You're not married.
No.
Okay. Do you have family that have now started to look at coming here, or do you communicate with a family back home?
I have two sisters.
Okay. And where are they?
They are in California, San Diego.
See, they chose a warm spot.
Yes. And I go visit them every year. They love to see me. I have 3 nephews, and I love them. My parents are still in Mumbai, India, and I'm planning to bring them here, so they will be with me for the rest of their lives. That's the part. And that's the part of my family. I don't have anyone else in Canada. Yeah, whatever I've made my family in Barrie, and I love people around me.
So, other than mosque,
yes,
and a happy place, what's some of your favorite things to do when you're not promoting? There's got to be some downtime. There's got to be a time for you.
Yes, I'm a full-time lifestyle photographer. So I do weddings, portraits, family portraits, and engagement shoots, all of that. So I'm pretty busy with my photography work.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I've seen some of those photos, and you're definitely very talented and
Absolutely.
very skilled.
Thank you.
So, when you're doing this, what are your favorite targets? What are your favorite things to shoot?
I would say weddings, engagements, family. I just like to make people look good and happy in the photos.
Yeah.
What I do, yes.
Well, your involvement with Sandra Roberts and stuff in town as well too. You've done a lot of photography with her, some co-production stuff.
Right.
You know, style is definitely something you've got.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which I think is
try.
cool. Well,
thank you.
In Barrie, they always say that the men in Barrie have 2 pairs of shoes: boots they wear to work and boots they wear everywhere else.
That's correct.
Right? And then there's some people who actually have some style, and you're definitely one of those. You stand out for sure. So, what would you say is your next big project? What have you always wanted to do? There's got to be something that your heart has been like, oh, I would love to do this.
I've been doing it so far, and I would like to do it. If I'm not hosting events for small businesses, not doing it for charity, I would rather be out there in community and work towards the community with a better vision, how I can serve them better. So hopefully working in the city of Barrie as a servant of city of Barrie in future.
Oh,
yeah.
So you'd like to be a city servant?
City servant, yes. Why not?
That's what they should be called. Because they again, and I've had this conversation with other people, is
yes.
people need to remember that they're serving the people aren't serving the city. And it's sort of a funny, off-sided thing that people seem to get confused by.
Right.
So what would you like to see in the city of Barrie? What would you change?
So the way the place I come from is people say Barrie is so white. Okay, saying white, that means it's so Caucasian, right?
But it's not.
It's not actually, but people don't see that. And to showcase, like, okay, this is what it's gonna look like. I want to bring something different to the city of Barrie, like where they can balance everything, what's happening in Toronto, like different faces, different culture, different food, restaurants, different festivals, it should be everything involved in that one place.
Yep.
And making that happen, it's not that hard, because Barrie has that. It's just that Barrie doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, I think that there's a few celebrations around town too. There's a Rotary Club, the Kempenfeld Rotary Club, that does the Taste of the World, that tries to get people to try food from different restaurants that represent different countries. But to actually have different countries involved, we've got the Terra Gardens, and that's about it. Right. You've got a few Indian places around town. Otherwise, we're a big steak, burgers, and fries town at the end of the day.
That's true.
You've got the side door in the north for their fantastic food, but. So what's your favorite food? What's your favorite thing to eat?
I can eat anything, Kevin.
Oh, really?
Yes. I enjoy every kind of food. So either it's Spanish, Indian, Greek, Italian. I eat everything, except I eat healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to look as good as you, when I'm 35.
Good for 65.
Oh no,
I'm just kidding.
when I'm 65. Okay, let's go with that. So when I'm 65, I want to look like Kevin Richards.
Oh.
So that's why I'm eating healthy
Aim
and
higher.
Sure, let's do that.
So what are you doing later on today then? What would be your day like? What's a day in the life?
So my
of
day,
Shakir?
another couple hours. I'm replying to emails and messages I have on Facebook and on Gmail, like tons, and then. Working on my Climate Up event, which is coming soon, June 4th. So I'm working towards that in support of Season Center for Grieving Children and Women and Children Shelter of Barrie.
Great cause.
This is where hairstylists, makeup artists, photographers donate their time to glam people up and make their portfolios, and they network at the same time. So very good cause. So I'm working towards that. I have lots of editing pending on my computer from last 4 wedding shoots I did.
Yeah.
So working on that too. And plus, if I'm not doing, I will be serving at a restaurant.
Really?
Yes. I serve at Jack Astor's as a server.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, not everybody knows where to go and see Shakir.
I know.
There you go.
So when I'm not doing anything, I will be there.
But they do a lot of stuff in the community too.
Absolutely.
You got to give them some kudos on that.
Yes.
Because Jack Astor's they've been here a long time, and there's a reason they're here. They've got
That's
great
true.
service and great people and great management. And food's
Very
good.
good people, very good staff, and food is amazing.
Yeah.
And people who come there are amazing too.
Cool.
You know?
Cool. So, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? What are you looking at long term? Because right now you're promoting, and you've got city events, and you're looking at possibly being a city servant and things like that. What's your biggest hope? What's your biggest dream way out there that you think is going to be long term?
Long term, I would say I would be definitely serving the city of Barrie while I'm here. And my second passion, which is either events planning, bringing people together, or making people look good, which is my photography. So I'll be choosing one of these businesses to balance with serving the city of Barrie.
Good.
So that will go until, I don't know how long.
Well, you definitely have a passion for the people.
Yes.
You definitely have a passion for
Absolutely.
just peace and faith and making people feel warm and fuzzy, which is a great thing.
Thank you.
Because there's not enough people doing that. You
Yeah.
know what? It's amazing what a smile or a hug or just being nice to people does.
I
right?
know. That is so true.
Yeah, and we need more of that. So let's go back to the Muslim thing.
Okay.
All right. Do you find that, and I really hope it doesn't work against you, because I hate to think that there are people who are going to be closed-minded about that, because they might be watching CNN, and I find that if you want the real news, watch sometimes Al Jazeera, or you watch BBC, and you'll get
Correct.
what's really going on in the world. You even say Al Jazeera to somebody, and they're like, "What's that? I don't understand that. It's not Fox."
Right.
And so their head explodes because they can't wrap their head around something other than North American news.
That's so true.
What do you find could work for you or against you then? If and I'm not trying to give you a political pitch,
Right.
but I want to know what you might find would be a struggle for you.
Being a Muslim,
Yeah.
I haven't had any struggle so far.
Good.
But yes, there is a criticism all the time, and criticism is positive and negative, and anyone has to face it. If you're doing something good or something bad, there is criticism. So I won't have any struggles, but I might have criticism, and I'm actually ready to face it because I have been facing it for quite a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to be out there in the public, you're confident that there's not going to be that issue, right?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome.
Not in Barrie at all.
Well,
so.
then that's good for Barrie.
Yes,
Because-
and my name, Shakir, is so unique. Everyone is like, "Whoa, that's a nice name, Shakir." So
Well,
I like that.
somebody's just going to think you're a DJ.
I know.
Shakir DJ.
By the way, I'm taking some lessons from one of my friends, DJ Manny. He's teaching me some skills on how to DJ too. So if I'm not doing anything, I'm doing that.
That's your other. Well, see, these are the things I want to know. I want to
Yes.
know what you like. Do you like sports?
That's another thing. I'm just buying a, what do you call that thing which goes?
A skateboard?
Skateboard,
A
yes.
skateboard?
Yes, so this summer I'm gonna go skate for
Look
like
at you.
10, 20 minutes every night just to get myself more active.
Well, there's a couple of great skate parks around town. There's one down by the Armories.
I know.
Yeah.
Interesting, very good. So I have to buy one of those and just start doing it, because I'm so busy with work. If you're not doing all these activities,
Yeah.
by 40, 45, you'll be like going like this.
I broke my son's skateboard at that skate park a few years ago, thinking I could land a kickflip, and I broke
You
it.
can.
And you know what? Kids nowadays can't land moves. You can be the first.
I'll try.
In
my
my
best.
day, it was all Thrasher and Vans and Chucks, and kids could land moves. They can't
Yes.
do it anymore. So that's cool. Do you like hockey?
I'm not a big hockey fan.
Yeah.
When I was in India, they have not the ice hockey. They have like the field hockey.
Oh, well, that's different.
And that's so different. But
yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I never had any interest. I had interest in cricket, and I used to watch cricket
huge
like
in
crazy.
Pakistan. There's nobody better than Pakistan.
It's huge in everywhere.
Yeah.
But now India is making so much money just doing crickets within India. So all these teams from everywhere in the world are coming to India just to play them.
Yeah, and you know what? People don't realize too that the fastest ball sport other than highlight is cricket.
Yes.
You know, sometimes 10 miles an hour faster than in a professional Blue Jays pitcher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, being a bowler is amazing.
100%, yes.
Yeah. So, but there's no place around to play cricket.
No. So in
So
Barrie,
there's another Shakir project.
So my friend Arjun Batra, he actually started Barrie Cricket League. This was in 2011 or 12.
Yeah.
And I worked with him closely to make this happen.
Yeah.
For some reason, we are not able to catch up with City of Barrie to have a field just for cricket, and we're working towards it.
Well, you need a big field.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you need to be able to have a bunch of people who don't mind killing a day.
I know.
Because you're talking 6 hours for some games, right?
That's true. That's true.
So, so you're not embracing hockey, which is fine with me because I have been here. I've been in Canada pretty much my whole life, and I don't play hockey. I'm a terrible skater.
Oh, okay.
So there's my confession.
There you go.
What else do you like to do?
I like watching movies. Gives me an idea how I can include, come up with that idea in my own events or photography. So
cool.
Yeah.
So I think that what you've got going for you is some really great passion for a city that has embraced you as well.
That is correct.
So if you were to say thank you just to a couple of people in town, who would be your shout out? Honestly, like who would you say? Obviously the Golden Griddle, fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
But who else would you say has given you your big push?
Definitely Georgian College, education-wise. It's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a sad thing. I would say that I had to pay so much money for 2 years of education, but at the end, I have a degree and I'm doing good in my business. Second thing, I would shout outs, right?
Yeah. Who's your kudos to? Who's your biggest
kudos?
Who's your biggest fan club or your biggest supporters?
That's the thing. I don't have a fan club.
Your parents?
My parents, they believed in me and they are like, you know what, Shakir, go to Canada. No parents would do that. Like if they have the only son in the family, like in India, it's like if they have only one son, they don't let him go. They just keep him with them because that's their support for future.
Yeah.
And they let me go, and today they are like proud of me.
That's a big roll of the dice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
my
awesome.
parents. I have a very good woman in my life. Her name is Nalini. She is my backbone. She is everything. She actually helped a lot changing my life in past few years. So
and I know who she is. She's a good soul. She's
very
a
good,
spirit.
very good. So definitely, I cannot think anything else about anything more about than my parents and Nalini and Georgian College and Golden Griddle.
Nice.
Yeah. The rest other things are like my close friends, my close family who are in Barrie,
Sure.
who are there all the time, and they are always there to support me. I cannot name all of them,
Yeah.
but whenever I do something, they're always there, like just the way I'm there for them. So.
Sure. Well, as part of all those people who push you forward, you being a guest on my show definitely helps me feel fantastic because
so much, Kevin.
I feel better today
Yes.
knowing more about you.
That is amazing.
So thank you for being my guest today, Shakir.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank
It
you
was
so
a
much.
pleasure to be here. I didn't say anything good about you. I should have said something. And I think you're doing amazing in the community. And
thank you.
I see you as a very good icon in the city of Barrie.
Thank you.
Yeah, being a small business and being out there in community, that's really good. So
Thanks.
whatever I'm doing, I think you're doing twice of that in the community for over the years in Barrie. So
Well, that's
that is
very kind.
amazing.
I appreciate that. Thanks,
Keep on
Shakir.
doing a great job, Kevin.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.